Hey everybody, welcome back to another Blades in the Dark tips and techniques video. Today I want to go over nuance with the controlled position in Blades in the Dark. I've noticed that sometimes when groups play the game for a while and get used to a lot of risky rolls, sometimes some of the nuances with the other positions in controlled and sometimes in desperate even will kind of go by the wayside, and most rolls will be sort of treated like a risky roll, which isn't the end of the world. Most rolls are going to be risky in Blades in the Dark, but I think it's important to take some of those nuances into account. So I want to go over them a little bit in this video today. So let's jump in to the screen here and take a look at the positions. So controlled has different outcomes than risky for the four different categories. A few of them are the same, but the partial success and the failure are different on controlled than they are for risky, and same for desperate. We'll get to that in a second. The important thing here is on a controlled roll, when you get a 4 or 5, you hesitate and you can choose. You can withdraw and try a different approach, or else go ahead and do it and suffer a minor consequence. And this is really important because on a risky roll on a 4 to 5, you don't get that choice. You do it and there's a consequence is what happens. But on a controlled roll, because it's a controlled situation, when you get that 4 or 5, the player gets to choose, is my scoundrel going to withdraw and try a different approach here, consequence free, or am I just going to press ahead and do it and suffer this minor consequence? So that choice with controlled really separates it from risky, and it really is helpful for showing when a character is very skillful in a certain area, is part of their character concept. I'm the lurk, I'm the sneaky one maybe. So maybe when I'm sneaking up to clobber this guard, maybe the GM says it's controlled because that's kind of my thing. Maybe when the cutter does it, maybe it's risky. Even though we have the same dots in prowl, even it might just be this aspect of our character that we want to highlight with the positions here, or because of the details of the situation in other ways. But when it is kind of my shtick, and I do have this controlled position, then now when I don't get a 6, all of a sudden it's not the case that my very stealthy, careful lurk blows it and a guard sees him. Now on a risky roll, maybe on a 4-5, yeah, like maybe the alert level goes up. Maybe someone in the other room goes, "Oh, did you hear that?" And there's a little bit of a increase in tension. But when it's controlled and I get that 4-5, I can choose to withdraw and try a different way. Maybe I go around it, find a different place to climb up and go through a window. Maybe there's a different patrol route that I could try to sneak past. Maybe I just deal with this guard in a different way. Whatever it is, there's a kind of beat in the fiction there where we see this expert confront something that doesn't quite go their way, and they're able to kind of pull back and reset. Or maybe my lurk is not that type of character. Maybe they just press ahead. Sure, I'll make a little noise. Sure, the guy in the other room might hear something, but whatever. I'm going to knock this guard out, hide him in the wardrobe. We're going to move on. I'll take a little alert or whatever it is. Maybe that's just how my lurk likes to play it. And then finally, one of the potential complications here is ending up in a risky position if I press forward. So in that case, the GM might let me just roll forward into a risky roll right here and now. That guy I heard in the other room, maybe he's actually headed this way. Maybe now my timeline to clobber this guard and hide him is getting really short. Do you want to just re-roll completely from a risky position? Go for that 6 again. Maybe you have a good dice pool. You just got unlucky. That's cool. You can press your luck and now try it again at risky. Roll those dice again and see what you get. So that 4-5 of control gives you this really nice little buffer there for characters who are experts to either step away from a problem and try something else, or press forward and take bigger risks. including rolling again, which is a really powerful thing in the game because of the way the dice pools work. Re-rolling your whole pool is kind of like doubling your dice for one roll. I mean, it's kind of this, it's a similar thing. So it's very powerful. It's a powerful way to give characters that space for some real expertise. As long as you treat the controlled rolls like a controlled roll and not like a risky roll. And same goes for a 1 to 3 result here. For a controlled, it says you falter. You can press on by seizing a risky opportunity, by cascading down and rolling again, like I said, or withdraw and try a different approach. So even on a failure with controlled, it's not the case, like it is with risky, that you fail and suffer a consequence. Even on a failure with a controlled roll, consequences are not on the table by default. So it gives so much buffer to and safety there, which is by design. If controlled rolls always had that same kind of outcome set, like riskies do, you do it with a consequence, you fail with a consequence. It's not really controlled anymore. Sure, the stakes might be a little lower, the kind of harm you might inflict is a little lower, but as a GM, if we treat everything like a risky roll, just with that set of outcomes, the nuances kind of the lack of those nuances, I think, can take away from some of the fictional stuff that the game is trying to do. Some of those Ocean's 11 moments where, you know, the expert is doing the thing that they're supposed to be good at, and there is a wrinkle, there is a complication, but they sort of, you know, save it at the last second. That's kind of what controlled rolls are supposed to all be about. And then with risky rolls, you also have that kind of cascading effect built in. On a 4 or 5 and on a 1 to 3 here, you can see ending up in a desperate position is one of the possible complications. So that cascading down and trying again is still there with risky rolls, and I don't see people use this a whole lot either. Very often it's just you do it and here's the complication that happens immediately, or you fail and here's the complication that happens immediately, and that's fine. Like there are tons of situations where it is just a moment of an attempt at something and a risk. So that's a perfectly good way to use the roll. But again, especially when it's someone's sort of wheelhouse, when they get that 4 or 5 or they get that 1 to 3 on a risky roll, you can offer up that raising of the stakes. Like you can try again from a desperate position now. It's not over yet. The alert level actually hasn't gone up yet. Do you want to try again at desperate? And then when you fail, the alert level is going to go up a lot, or maybe you're just going to get spotted. But you can try again from a worse position if you want to. So again, it gives you that little bit of buffer there for cases where you want your expert to shine. You don't want that frustrating kind of moment of, well, this is my whole deal. I'm the hound taking the expert shot from a distance, and my dice were unlucky. It can feel weird sometimes to just say, nope, you failed, there's a consequence, bang, bang, bang. So there's room here in the position, the outcomes of the positions, to create those nuances for experts or for extremely dominant positions when you have everything set up exactly the way you want. You can cascade down and try again. Do that beat in the movie when things suddenly are a little bit off. Oh no, what's he gonna do? How are you gonna adjust? And then we see the follow through. And those can be really fun. Of course, when you get down to desperate, those kind of options are gone. There's no more cascading down. There's no more re-rolling or anything, and that's by design. Again, it's the nature of the desperate position that you've run out of road there, and now you're gonna do it or face the consequences. So that's really what I wanted to hit on for this video. I wanted to hit on this idea of treating the positions of the game as ways to kind of dial the overall, so to speak, difficulty level of the game, and to, especially with the controlled position, to think about what these outcomes mean, and how they're very different. They're just very different from the sort of regular old risky action rolls. So yeah, give those a review if you haven't looked at those in a little while. And next time you play Blades in the Dark, think about that. Think about how controlled rolls are different, and maybe try it out. Maybe try out that cascading down, giving those controlled positions a chance to snatch it out of the fire at a risky roll, or then even try again from a desperate position, to really show a dynamic, evolving situation in play. So yeah, that's it for me on this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.